I'm about to go live again, Pippin. Yeah, now you good. I'm just letting you know in case you don't want to be in it. All right.
Back.
We are we're back. Anyway, so um victim glasses we were talking about. This whole case of like a situation where uh you're talking to your daughter versus your son and say who's smart, who's strong, whatever, right? From the parent's perspective, I think it's really important to be able to communicate. Let's say if that sort of conversation does come up, to be able to communicate effectively why people might think that way. But I don't know. But also at the same time, like I said, I don't want to pass down the victim mindset to
Yeah.
my kid, you know?
Mhm.
Like, I mean, here's a really real example, right? At some point, one point or the other, unfortunately, some stupid kid is gonna be bullying my son, right? Because of the way he looks, right? Unfortunately, probably big or small, right? It is up to me to educate him, right? Regardless of the reason, right? Let's say if he is being bullied because of his what he looks like, I would rather focusing on like, hey man, like at least you're not the bully. Like it's the bully has a problem. Yeah, you know I mean, like you gotta stay strong. Like I would do my best to try not to pass on the like that victimhood mindset, you know, because I feel like that there's a lot of like strong identity. There's kind of probably going to be like guilt associated with it too, you know. And that's something I will have to navigate through, cross the bridge when that happens. You know what I mean? Because I mean, you and I don't know about you, but you know, I've been bullied because of
Oh
what I look
yeah,
like,
I
you
don't
know,
think.
I'm
Mhm.
sure, right? And you just kind of have to navigate through that, you know. Um, but I would say one of the most important thing for me educating my kid is be aware of the victimhood glasses or hat or whatever. You know, I say glasses because it's pretty literal because
Mhm.
everything you see, right? You see it from that victimhood mindset, you know?
Right, even though you've never really experienced anything
Yeah.
to actually be a victim of.
Yeah, exactly. And it's and quite frankly, it's easier to be a victim. It's
Mhm.
easier to say, oh, it's because of, you know what I mean? Right? It's harder to actually do something about it. Yeah. I get a lot of heat for saying this kind of stuff sometimes.
Well, yeah, like I know. I mean, I would get a lot of heat for saying some of the stuff that I would like I would say. But so what would you say if you're in a group in a room and then
Hmm.
there's a bunch of parents and children and then a little girl says something like that, like, oh, girls are smart and strong, and then the boy says I mean boys are smart and strong, and everyone starts coming out on that boy. Would you stick up for the boy, or would you be neutral, or would you join in and be like, oh, but girls can also
Yeah. Well, okay, hold on. Repeat the situation. So the girl said she's smart and strong, and then the boy said he's smart and
same thing?
strong,
And then
and
everyone,
then some. I'm gonna assume woman, not men. The woman said that girls are strong, smart, and strong too.
Mhm.
I would I would just be like, yeah, I know. Yeah, we know. Like, I don't know. Like there's nothing to be arguing about, I guess. But
I
yes,
mean,
but if they put down my son for that though, I would defend him. Yeah, of course.
well, yeah, you gotta make it known that it's not a uniquely
Yeah.
it's not a gender unique trait,
It's not, yeah, exactly.
right?
My son being smart and strong has nothing to do with your daughter being smart and strong. You can both be smart and strong.
Well, it's nothing to do with what gender they are,
Yeah, or yeah, exactly. It's just I
right?
think just people, that's what I mean. Like my son and your daughter, two different people. I don't care.
Mhm.
Like it could be your son, it could be your whatever. I don't care what gender spectrum they're on. If you know, they could be identifying as a fucking cricket, right? My son and your cricket are both smart and strong.
Well,
For me, that's you know.
I don't know if they identify as a cricket, then smart can enter the conversation, but
Hey, hey, I don't know. For me, I guess the way I would say like quite frankly, I don't care. Right? Like it's out of my jurisdiction. If you
look,
identify if you identify as a cricket
there's a
and
few
you want to
screws
be
loose.
smart,
All right, I
Eh,
don't
it
know.
depends on the age, I
Just
think.
that's just me. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Someone identifies as a cricket, like it's gonna be very hard for me to take you seriously.
yeah. It depends on
On
the age, I think. If you're like 14 and you identify as a cricket or a dog, whatever, right? Then I'll be like, oh, that's interesting, right? You have interesting exposures. That doesn't necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily think they are stupid, you know, or
um
not smart. I would just think that they're obviously exposed to things that, right, like I'm not as familiar with, right? It's out of my like the way I say it, I think I've always been at a from the perspective of like if it doesn't harm me and my family, you do you. But the moment you come to my
well,
son and
yeah,
say like, hey, you're also a dog, I'll be
yeah.
like, no, he's not. You know, you see the difference, right? Like for
Like,
me,
yeah,
I don't know,
I
like
say, like I said, there's no skin off my back, whatever you decide to call yourself. But that doesn't mean I'm not allowed to form an opinion about it if it's right or wrong.
yeah. And you can think they're not smart too, you know. And by the way, like there's plenty of fucking Ivy League, whatever, whatever titles they had, they are like dumb as shit.
Mhm. Be right back. All right. We have a couple of viewers. I don't know if you all know.
Yeah. Sorry. There's a homeless guy
Oh,
passing
what the
by
hell?
outside
Why is there always
outside.
someone weird at your place or near your place whenever?
Food recently, man, it's been like fucking weird. And my dog was barking a lot recently. And I live in a not bad neighborhood, but recently it's just been
I don't
like,
know. Maybe
well,
it's
because
time
it's a
to
popular, yeah, it's been populating more. But most of them are just,
maybe it's time to
it's
rediscuss
uh
getting a gun.
oh, shit. Okay, let's go back to that. It's funny we talk about this, right? Like earlier, I was walking around, and this is what I mean by like why I'm very, very careful about my like thoughts around gun. Earlier, I was walking around and not in my neighborhood, but I was walking around, and then there was a guy that approached like getting pretty close, but he was, like he was like hoodie down, like had a lot hand in the pocket, like slightly suspicious looking, right? I had my kid in the stroller, I had my dog, was walking around, and of course nothing happened. He just passed, right?
Yeah.
But in my head, right, obviously I'm very observant. I'm like, I'm constantly like side eye, right, making sure, right? Because you never know. And even just kind of thinking through what could have happened and what I would have done, I am sometimes a little afraid of what I would actually do,
What, like
if that makes sense.
overreacting?
Yes,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. Like what I picture what I would possibly do, like the outcome of it is more than necessary.
Hmm.
And sometimes I notice myself, like whenever it comes to anything to do with like danger with my family or intrusion, um, my thoughts are pretty extreme.
Hmm.
And I personally find that a little unsettling.
Well, you can't just, bring out your gun for every small little thing if you own something, right? It's because the definition of self-defense is using something of equal force to defend yourself. So if someone comes up to you and like starts, I don't know, yelling at you or spitting on you, you would
Yeah,
totally go to jail even if you slashed your gun, because that's called brandishing.
yeah,
So that's not an equal force, right? But if he came running at you with a knife,
yeah.
then you're totally within your rights to.
Well, yeah, well, let's just use that example, right? I still don't own a gun, right? like that example, let's say if somebody like if he just like spit on me, I actually don't really give a shit. I'll probably just like, hey, what the fuck, you know?
Or even spit on your family, right?
If
Then
he spit on my family, that's very different.
yeah. So
If it gets
even
anywhere close to my son,
but
he will be
that
violated or
yeah,
she.
but that is not enough justification to even bring out your weapon if you were
But
carrying
well,
it.
that's what I mean, though, right? Even without a weapon, my thought process goes to pretty extreme,
Mhm.
and that's what I mean by what scares me. You know, like my thought process would go from like I wouldn't just fucking, you know what I mean? Like my thought process is like it's to a pretty extreme level that I don't feel, I would right. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's just the way I process it, right? Like look, that there was a few weeks ago, like some guy was getting close to my kid and my wife. If he was just a little crazy, he was just kind of like shouting, right? He didn't do anything. But like I said, I don't even got no weapons. But if anything crosses the line, I go pretty extreme. And it's one of those things where it's like only when it comes to my family, I go from 0 to 2,000
Mm,
fast. I will hope that I have a good once conflict does happen, physical altercation does happen. I will hope I will have enough, like, my human brain comes in control of my lizard brain. But that's what I mean by like I feel that um that's one of the reasons why I wouldn't want to, you know, the
no, I
way I
get it.
say it,
Yeah.
yeah. I just don't I just want to eliminate that.
You don't want to
Even the
overreact,
possibility. Yeah,
right?
I just that possibility, just get rid of it. It's like the burn
Well,
the boat, right? I just don't even have the boat.
maybe you should buy a taser, like an actual like cop taser,
Yeah. A taser.
like
I have
those.
a
Not
I
like those
got
little crappy like that are more
pen.
just noise than anything, but it's actual
Yeah.
like you know what the cops use? Like as a taser, like
The
it
the
looks like
gun
a
the gun
pistol.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
could
yeah, yeah,
buy
yeah.
civilian models of those.
I have one for my wife. It's like a pen and the
They do
is the
nothing.
zaps. Yeah, I don't know. I've never tried it. And
I
hopefully
guarantee you,
never had to.
just
Yeah.
like give yourself a little, it's not, you'll feel like a shock, but it's
Yeah.
more just scary to hear like that electric noise
Yeah, yeah,
coming
yeah,
up.
yeah.
But anyone knows that those do nothing. You
Yeah.
won't be incapacitated by getting
Yeah.
hit by one of those.
Do you carry a knife around it with you? Swiss
Sometimes,
Army? Swiss Army? Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Like that, even that I don't. I would prefer not to. But I have I'll tell you what I do exactly, actually. I have those like super bright flashlights, right? When I
Those are
go,
good. Yeah.
yeah, when I go at night, because like again, I rather be smart about it than you can do you can do solid damage if you just at the right time at the right spot, fucking blind them first, you know, eliminate the possibility of escalation before you get to any,
Yeah. I have a 1,000 lumen flashlight, and then one of the
yeah.
modes is strobing, so you just blind them.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's you see that's what I mean, right? Like I'll rather that, right?
Mhm.
Blind them, and if they somehow still pursue, right? They gotta get physical hunter, cool, right? But my my inclination is to not get to the point where it's like fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the way I say it. But hey, man, like once he grows, I don't know, maybe in 5, 10 years, ask again about guns. We'll see. My thing evolves, but yeah, I don't know. Like, do you feel the need to be a licensed carrier?
I mean, that's a tricky question because statistically,
Yeah.
you're never going to be in a mass shooting or in a situation where someone's threatening you. Um,
How about this? What makes you feel the need to be a licensed carrier? What would make you feel the need to carry your gun around?
I mean, so the reason I first got my gun was in the middle of COVID when all that Asian hate crimes were
Yeah,
going
yeah,
up, right? And
yeah,
that's what prompted me to get my first firearm.
yeah.
Um, I mean, so I guess just like anything like that.
So
Or if I noticed things in my neighborhood were getting unsafe, or if there was a rise in theft or home invasions, then,
yeah,
but yeah, just safety. I mean, it all
yeah,
revolves around safety.
yeah. But to carry around though, that's very different from like to be owner, right?
But I mean, getting a gun is easy. Carrying takes a little more work. Like you actually
Yeah,
have to take classes and go through actual field, like do actual in-field tests.
yeah. And that's what I mean. What would prompt you to actually want to be a carrier? Like
Just
you're
for
going to
ease
Red
of
Lobster. You're going to Red Lobster and you're just carrying. No, no, I mean that's
peace
what
of
people do,
mind,
right?
like
They
peace of
literally
mind,
carry, right?
Just like, yeah,
Yeah.
I know a couple people that carry.
Yeah. Like you going to McDonald's, you got
Mhm.
your, I mean, or In and Out in this case, that guy, right?
I mean, well, at the end of the day, no one is gonna know because you don't advertise, "Hey, I'm a carrier," but no one's gonna know that you have one, and then you most of the time you forget yourself that you're a carrier until you need it,
Uh,
right?
I feel like this goes to the problem of what we were talking about the ownership, right? Where it's almost so easy that there's so many people that would
Right, but
they get it
look,
and they flash, right?
we could say that all we want. It's so easy to get a gun, but the fact of the matter is, guns aren't going away.
Yeah, 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 which I
So,
agree.
so well, I'm not arguing the fact that it's bad that guns are so easy to get. Yeah, that is true, but I'm just going off of what I can do for myself. If people are gonna have guns out there, why not even the playing field?
Yeah, yeah,
Because hopefully I'll never be in a situation where I need to use it, and most of the time, the only time I bring out my gun is recreationally at the range.
yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like the way I treat guns is very similar to a way, it sounds stupid, but very similar to the way I treat like cigarettes or drugs, where it's just like I
Mhm.
just don't even want to get involved.
Like,
Not
so
because I
in that,
think it's
yeah.
wrong, right? I don't think it's wrong.
Mhm.
I just prefer not to, because
I think, yeah,
yeah,
I think, yeah, sure.
yeah. And by the way, like I can totally see myself. Let's say if I do get one, I would be fucking addicted to it. You know what I mean? Like I would be like, I gotta go out there, right? I gotta go every week. I gotta, you know what I mean? Because it's a skill. It's something I get learn. I can be
Yeah,
better
yeah.
at. You know
But
what I mean? And that's
look,
what I mean too.
it's an expensive thing too because ammo ain't cheap. But look,
Yeah,
if I keep thinking about what I would do in Idaho if I was in that in and out, right?
yeah,
And I was licensed to carry.
yeah.
I think it's hard to say what I would do because I have time to think about it versus if I was there, it's a fight or flight. But I think you just stay in a secure room. You don't like run around
Yeah.
in the open where it's easy to get shot down. You take up if you have a firearm yourself, I think I would have tried to stay in the building, just st- stay in a room with the least amount of
That
entrances that just fortify it up, right?
well, that's a really great observation though. Like everybody will probably like to think or say that, like, oh, I
Mhm.
would because I'm a carrier, I would try to, I would try to like
Mhm.
fight the bad gun owner, right? But like, yeah, I don't know what I would do, especially if I'm with my family. It's very different versus,
Well, so I think the dumbest thing to do is just like grab your family, run out the door, because then guess what? You have very little cover,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
run
Like,
around, just like target practice in the
yeah, yeah.
streets.
You would definitely say, but what would you do with your actual gunpowder? That's the question. You would be,
I wouldn't go out and fight the guy,
mm,
I would stay, I wouldn't look for him. I would stay hidden
yeah.
and in a room with
But
only
if
one or two entrances I could easily see, right?
Yeah, but if he comes, you will shoot
Yeah, of course.
100%. Yeah, 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 yeah,
But I'm not gonna go towards the gunfire. I would find a safe spot to fortify, right?
yeah,
Maybe put some chairs in the doorway
yeah.
and then just hold the angle. If he peeks out with a gun, like,
Uh, Here's another question. Since we're at the same topic, let's say you're with a family, right? Would you try to help other people, or would you just protect your family only?
If they're around me, sure. But I'm gonna get my family in that room first, and then
Family first. Yeah.
yeah. And then sure, if people are around me, but I'm not gonna go out there and try to huddle people around. I'm just like, all right, my family's here and the people that are
Yeah.
directly around me, sure.
Yeah. That's a fair assessment. Yeah, that's a fair process, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky, man. I've never been in a situation. I know friends who have been
Mhm.
at terrible events. I know a couple of people who were at the fucking Vegas
Oh,
thing,
sheesh. Yeah.
who were at the that's
Yeah,
crazy,
I mean
man.
that's like that's what I was saying. The worst case, you're running around in a big open field, no cover. It's just fish in
Yeah,
a barrel.
yeah, that was a massacre, man.
That
He
was
was from the
horrible.
top. Yeah, he was like
Yeah.
from the top down. Like it's crazy. And all you can do is literally pray to whoever you gotta pray to.
Yeah, just
Mm,
I don't know what the hell I would have done in that situation. Even if I was carrying or something, I would have done. I think I would have just
yeah,
the first thing I would have done is just hit the ground, right?
yeah.
Just go
I would
flat.
just go flat if
Mhm.
there's some sort of cover, if possible,
Yep.
making sure my family's safe. That's the first
Mhm.
and probably only thing I would do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because, but
S-
you
s-
know, even that's not a
Statistically,
guarantee, right?
yeah.
Because I don't know.
Because I mean, I'm gonna assume if you're a crazy shooter, you'd probably shoot the ones that are running.
Yeah.
You wouldn't shoot the ones out on the floor.
Mhm.
You know,
You don't know. You
you
don't
don't know
know. He
because
might,
you don't know where the bullets will land.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he might have a scope, and you might see people just going right, just
Yeah.
going flat. It's like, ooh, this guy's standing still. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
there's no right answer. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, America, man, America. Yeah, I highly recommend. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll send it to you. The Jim Jeffries, his whole bit about gun control or gun. His whole argument is basically like, hey man, like you do whatever you got to do, but like just don't give me all this bullshit. It's because you love guns. That's it. That's the only reason. Don't give me that bullshit. I got to protect my family. No, it's you want a gun, you carry a gun because you like guns. You love guns. His whole argument is
Look,
basically
I
that.
I don't think that's a valid argument because I don't love guns. I have two guns, and one is specifically just for if shit hits the fan. Right.
Yeah.
The other one is more recreational as a shotgun, where I go out and shoot clays out of the air.
God damn, you got a shotgun.
Yeah.
That's dope. Uh, but yeah, watch it. I'll be curious. Watch that clip and let me know your thoughts. I'll send that to you. I'll be curious to see your thoughts on it. It's obviously he's a comic, he's a comedian,
Right.
right? It's funny, but it hit a lot of people like a lot of people. Yeah, he covers everything pretty much. I'll send that to you. I'm so
Okay,
curious about your
okay.
thoughts. Yeah. All right. Well, I think it was a
Yeah.
good chat
Good time to
today.
wrap. Mhm.
I am grateful my kid has pretty much slept through
Yeah,
most of
pretty
it.
calm. Yeah.
Thank goodness. Well, Andy, you want to wrap us up?
Yeah. Everyone, thanks for joining us. If you liked to hear what you saw, or even if you didn't like, leave a comment. Like and subscribe. See if you want to join the conversation next time. My name is Andy. This is Tony. We'll be on every Wednesday Pacific
Next
at 8,
next
9:30.
Wednesday is Thursday.
Well, so we'll try to be on every Wednesday Pacific 9:30, but next week we'll be out of schedule
Yep.
due to traveling. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank y'all. This has been Let's Meet in the Middle. Hump Date Meets.